Welcome to the Blessed to Teach Show. This is Rick, your host, here on Thursday, July 11th, going live a little bit earlier as I'm in Nashville, Tennessee at a conference, joining my wife at a conference, and based upon everything going on tonight, I needed to go on a little earlier here live on YouTube on, again, July 11th, about 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So let's get rolling here. Wanted to say hi to a few of the people that are already on. It's not my normal time, so I guess it is. Says, hey, Patriots, Billy Jackson, Steve, Stefan, thank you guys for all being on. We got people from Oklahoma, Wayne from Oklahoma. We got Now Little from Nashville, Tennessee. Wow. Okay, I live in Nashville. Well, that's where I am right now. Hell from Minnesota. Well, let's get going. We're talking about a stealth bomber. What is Q talking about? A bunch of new QAnon posts. Again, let's dig into this a little bit right now. If you look over here at the 3404 that we talked about on July 9th, it was Bill Maher, basically says, follow the date. One example, no coincidences. And we talked about July 19th, Real Time with Bill Maher, HBO. This is World Youth Day for this Catholic Church. I mean, this is a big jamboree. Look at that. This is where all the kids in the world get together with priests. What could go wrong? So he's always making pedo jokes. Again, that was July 19th, which ties back. And so we want to go back and look at the flight log of what the flight log of the Epstein's plane, which is the Lolita Express that was going down to basically Pedo Island, right? Yeah, a whole lot of winning going on, Jeff Stewart says. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Rachel Chandler. But we're all talking about Rachel Chandler here a lot. Remember to talk about the staircases, which are the pictures of going down into underneath that temple on Lolita Island. And so there's a lot of stuff going on, but he also wants us to look at the date. And so we're seeing a lot going on in July. There's a lot of anon digging right now of what's going on. Some people thinking that this right here is Hillary, as an example. And you can see a stairway hill. I think that's the same stairway, I believe, just in a different zoom in on it. And then this is a separate stairwell, but very steep it looks like, so it probably goes down pretty deep. That's the whole point. And that's where we left off. And so this newest one I think that came on was this deal talking about Mar, right? Follow the date. One example, no coincidences. So if we look at what's going on in July 2013, where all those pictures were taken and the camera was there, what was going on at that time when Rachel Chandler was 15 years old, obviously seen with Bill Clinton, etc. Now this next post is very upsetting. And I wasn't able to go on last night because I was traveling. I was on a plane all last night, flying from New York all the way back to Dallas. And so, and then now I'm and that was to catch my flight to come to Nashville. But poor me, I'm going to try to be taking vacation, but I'm going to still try to come out with my videos each day. But this is about Planned Parenthood, guys. And a new article came out about Planned Parenthood here just recently. Q told us that was going to happen. Trump's pulling funding basically from it. But this picture they post here is something I don't even feel I can show. It literally shows, I think, 7 or 8 aborted babies all being cleaned up to sell, I would guess. But they're all, it's just one of the grossest things I've ever seen and upsetting things I've ever seen. So if you want to see that, go to qmap.pub or go to qanon.pub. qanon.pub or qmap.pub are the two ones I use. I'll flash by it here just really quickly. Just right there, right? And so it's really gross. But and after you get upset seeing that, it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just going to be really crazy. So DJ saying, did you hear anything about the $1.3 billion cocaine bust border on the JP Morgan Chase owned ship? Yeah, that's a couple days ago, actually. So yeah, I did. So let's read after this ugly picture of all these. Designed false reality narrative. Google altering search results support the pre-designed narrative and make harder for one to learn their truth. Those with influence who challenge the narrative are banned, shunned, threatened. Planned Parenthood is good narrative. China is not a threat narrative. Do you know the market price for a fetus? Correlation of market price and days old of fetus baby. As age days increase, so does the value. And there's a link here to a Fox News article about the Senate to vote on the Born Alive bill. But again, against major fight back from the Democrats. Dees blocked Born Alive bill. Planned Parenthood political donations. What party? Do you believe this has anything to do with a woman's right to choose? Welcome to the real world. Q. Aborting our babies for profit is what it's all about. And it is scary, scary stuff, guys. We need to fight. I'm going to go past that again. They labeled us the ugly truth about abortion, Planned Parenthood, Democrats, and the love of money. And I'm not going to go to that. I think it was good enough to to show the you can go to the Fox News article yourself. But in the interest of time, I want to move this along. And here we have a link also Q gives us about the Epoch Times. So shout out to Epoch. But analysis of the files themselves shows otherwise. Commentary by Adrian Norman, DC. So this is a really good article. And if you dig into it, it gets into the fact that it comes back to Seth Rich. The files that were copied, you can go look at the metadata, and at the rate it was copied, it has to be local. In other words, a thumb drive was used to copy all those files. And to say that it was hacked, there's just no evidence of that. Just one company called CrowdStrike, which was funded, being paid for by the DNC, and they didn't let anybody see this server. So this just goes into the details. This Adrian Norman does a great job going into the details to show that Mueller report was really like a dossier. It was probably written primarily by Weissman, and it was just an accusation trying to make the Trump look bad, setting him up for impeachment. It says your mic is dropping out. Everybody else will let me know. I don't think so because I'm getting good readings right here. So I'm hoping it's yours. Let me see. I got good. Darn it. I hope you guys are. So I'm at a hotel with high-speed net. I paid for the extra high speed. And let me just check here. And it looks like I've got a really good connection. So, and it shows me my mic is really loud. So there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it, I don't think, guys. So let me know how this goes. But here we are on, again, the stealth bomber. Getting into Q drops right now. All right, so this article is awesome, though. Unchallenged allegations of a computer hack permeated nearly all mainstream media. Coverage of the investigation were sprinkled throughout much of the final report from Special Counsel Robert Mueller. The indictments of 12 Russians by Mueller asserts that the emails were obtained through a remote network breach. The indictment drones on and on about a Russian military unit dubbed Unit 26165 and Agent X malware, and supposedly allowed the DNC emails to be compromised. But analysis of the files, analysis of the team Mueller either never conducted or never discussed show otherwise. So basically the evidence shows that there's a bunch of malarkey. It says, it's not much, but it's what I can spare. May God bless you, Rick, and Patriots. Thank you so much, Ben M. Appreciate it. And so the bottom line here, guys, just go look at this article. It's a great Epoch Times article, really making showing that the Seth Rich things look like it's about ready to drop. That the Mueller report assumed something that was completely false. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens here. That was 3406. The Mueller investigation failed to provide evidence that the DNC was actually hacked. That's exactly right. That's 3406. Now we go to 3407. D's push for open borders and no voter ID so they can win elections with illegal votes. Sorry, I like to do those, but this is just a repeat of something. He just dropped the same thing on 211, and Q just says, regarding border fight, worth remembering. Q. So he wants us to remember this back in February of 19 that he gave us. He said, basically, he gave us this article showing that if you look at the amount of illegal immigrants and how the elections turned out, they almost completely overlap perfectly. It says, only when the election harms the D party will they claim foreign interference. Keyword, foreign. What about domestic interference? Non-citizen votes by county. Non-citizens promo by county. Non-citizens org by county. Targeted districts. Break as late for count. Vote swing figures plus rule of law. Standard of no-show votes. SC 2009-2019 scope case. So basically there's a new standard of number of no votes. And so they basically, all this stuff in the green is basically just showing complete domestic interference, including using the courts. Why do the D's push for no voter ID in U.S. elections? Why do D's push for open borders? Find the connection. Sometimes a map helps. And so, yeah, this is just a big reminder of the voter fraud that goes on in this country and why they really want open borders and why they really don't want a voter ID law. They really, it's pretty offending to say that poor people or African American people can't get an ID. Oh my goodness, they get IDs for everything else. It's crazy. So somebody's still talking about my sound, which is a real bum deal because it's looking really good on my side. I'm gonna unplug and plug real quick. And then I'm going to make sure I've got the property set where the property is on. Oh, it says default. You got my bad. So let me know if that sound is better because now it's using my external microphone just versus just the default. Are you sure you want to exit? No, I don't want to exit for sure. All right. So let me know if that sound is better. Give me ones if it's better, two if it's the same on the chat out there. So now this now gets into 3408, which we talk about. Planned Parenthood news is coming. So PP in brackets. Planned Parenthood in brackets. All right, in the Matrix is on in the house. Thanks for joining us. He did some great decoding today with Shady Groove. In fact, I have a Shady Groove guess thread here coming up that's on the stealth bomber that I thought was extremely well done as well. Here's the Breitbart. GOP senators, look at this, demand DOJ update on Planned Parenthood fetal tissue probe. So all right, it sounds better. Obviously using the microphone right in my face works better than the laptop. Thanks for the, and sorry guys about having to be on the road and doing these versus doing them in my studio. I obviously love my studio. Love my background in my studio, but this is the best I can do at the hotel. Fortunately, this TV lets me get to the input, so at least I can have my background. Cool. But you can see here that at least the GOP is really fighting for this. This is awesome. So everybody say hi to In the Matrix in the house. Let's look. So her Republican Senator Lindsey Graham and Chuck Grassley have sent a letter to the U.S. Attorney General William Barr and FBI Director Christopher Wray demanding an update on the investigation into possible violations regarding the sale of aborted fetal tissue by Planned Parenthood and its partners in the biomedical research industry. So, and this is a relatively long article, but it gets into the details of. Oh no, this is. Let me see. Maybe this is just a little short one. According to the press release, here's the full press release. Senator Judiciary Committee Chairman Graham of South Carolina and his predecessor Grassley of Iowa, current chairman and committee on finance, wrote to Barr and Wray Tuesday seeking an update on the federal investigation that was supposedly launched from 2017. All right, Kiwi, good to see you too. And appreciate the offer, by the way, Kiwi, for your space. but the Cultural Impact System's all going to be remote on video conferencing. I got a cool tool called Zoom that works extremely well. That's what I use when I interview people, and I can have hundreds of people on that at the same time. So it's going to be the death of distance, I call it. Doesn't matter where you are, I can help train people. It's going to be a beautiful time. So that is that. That is what we call 3408 for just to see that Planned Parenthood. And then we see something, he predicts Planned Parenthood news coming. This was yesterday, July 10th. And sure enough, I'll show you shortly a article where Trump is looking at defunding, and won a court case to where he can now defund another big part of Planned Parenthood, which is about, $60 million or something like that, which is awesome. So here's another extremely long post, but an awesome one. 3409, right? It gets its smoke and mirrors. Fake news media's attempts to truncate size of movement while building up size of the opposition. Inauguration Day, current attempts to diminish and instill a "you are in the minority" mindset narrative continues. People want to believe they are part of the bigger group. Size equates to accuracy in most minds. Acceptance, the right side. One of the primary purposes of POTUS holding a rally is to demonstrate the massive appeal, energy, and size of this movement, plus the ability to correct false reporting and or highlight achievements, goals, etc. Compare and contrast 45's rally versus any single one of the Democrats. I would add, you could add all the Democrats together and it wouldn't even come close. Hey, the Matrix, thank you so much, buddy. Much love, Rick. At where we go one, we go all. That's one thing that Matrix and I have been trying to emphasize to everybody. And that's why I'm trying to get with Dion and the Patriot Soapbox and Dustin Nemos and everybody just say, hey, guys, point the guns that way. The evil cabal versus we the people. That's what this is all about. The evil cabal versus we the people. And we the people does include everybody, right? And that includes people of all faiths as well. Although my mission is really closer to the Christian patriots, but obviously I love it when there's people that go on the full of all faiths mission as well. Hey, why does POTUS mention crowd size at each rally and every rally? What is projected by the MSM? In fact, my wife has a friend. I'll just take a break here for just a second to amplify on this. Who has a lot of, he's a trainer and he trains a lot of liberal people, and they still think that the at the 4th of July nobody showed up. That was incredibly small crowds. Can you believe that? I mean, I was there myself, guys. I was there myself. I was shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't even step anywhere. I had people on my back, my front and side, and I was in the trees. You couldn't even see me in the picture that goes all the way back. It was shoulder to shoulder, completely packed with rain and with the threat of Antifa to throw acid in our faces. And we were still there and huge. But yet the liberal minds are being controlled because he who controls the minds, he who controls the media controls the mind. Famous saying, right? That is exactly what's happening right now. Lies become truths. Truths become lies. Just like the Bible talks about it in the end times. It talks about this as right? That the truth will become lies and lies will become truth. And this is exactly what Q is saying. Smoke and mirrors. You are the majority. People united and awake is their biggest fear. Do you think it's a coincidence we are being attacked aggressively by some of the biggest media corruptions in the world right now, corporations in the world right now, after our return? So Q returns and boom, all the attacks return, right? If we are simply a conspiracy or LARP or some kid living in a basement, as stated repeatedly, why do the world's largest media companies continue to dedicate so much attention and time to attacking us? Billion-dollar companies expending resources to stop a LARP, which is a live-action role player, which is one of those fake characters in a video game. If you ever played a video game and you run into somebody and they do the same thing every time almost, that's a live-action role player. So when somebody comes onto the 8chan or 4chan and they're pretending like they're somebody else, that's what they call a LARP. And so basically community of the fake news media, the cabal-controlled media, is trying to paint Q as a LARP, which is a joke because the Anons would spit out LARPs. LARPs don't last more than a few days. They get spit out fast. Billion-dollar companies expending resources to attempt to shape the mindset narrative to prevent and slow digestion of the masses. You attack those you fear the most. Why does the media rush to shape events? Why are the same keywords always used? These 2 points are really good, guys, because the media rush to shape events is exactly what's happening with them coming out now with some stuff about the fact that they know that the metadata of the data shows it was a thumb drive and wasn't copied over the internet like a hack would, the supposed Russian hack. So they're trying to shape the events, and Dan Bongino just killed them on this yesterday, I think, on his show. And why are the same keywords used? We know about the 4 a.m. talking points. If they all say the exact same thing, then somebody who's not awake or somebody who just watches sports or somebody who's extremely busy is just going to believe what they heard once or twice or 3 times or saw in the paper and then heard it on the news. Boom, they hear those same words, and it's literally a psyop against the public. That's what it is. It's literally a psyop. Psych 101. If you see and hear the same thing over and over again, ... They do not want you thinking for yourself. They do not want you challenging authority. Logical thinking always wins. Trust yourself. Always. Attacks will intensify. Fake news. Arm of the D party. It's interesting it has that in brackets. I don't know why he put an extra bracket there. I don't know if that was an error or not. Enemy of the people. Q. Pretty damning one that is actually very accurate. And it's so important to know that when POTUS says enemy of the people, that is not an exaggeration. This is true enemy of we the people, is what the news media and the Mockingbird media actually is. Cabal controlled completely. Here we are in 3410, stealth bomber. Date of first flight, date of Mueller's testimony, A, B, C, D, E, ... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ... B2, Q. And this is where it'd be good to jump over to Shady's whole thread that goes over this in a lot of detail. But one thing I like to do, and I try to teach you guys to do, is just go. I like to do this in QAnon.pub. It's a little easier because it has this search bar, and you just search on stealth. Just type in stealth in there and hit enter, and it's QAnon.pub. Just type in stealth, and then then click off of that and hit Control F or Command F if you're on a PC. This whole Command F if you're on a Mac, and Control F if you're on a PC, and type in stealth again, and hit enter, and you'll see. Then it filters it down to only the ones with stealth, and it highlights it. So 3410 stealth bomber. So that's what we just read. But let's go see when he first said that. That's why I like to go 7 matches up there. I go backwards to say, what's the first time he used the word stealth? Boom. Boom, there it is. So the first time he used stealth was in this big long post back on October 9th, 2018. The very bottom of this majorly long drop. As you can see, he's starting to talk about this. The context of this is a lot of Mueller, right? Mueller was designed as a public outcry excuse should criminal charges be brought against them. We are being politically attacked because Mueller. How do you install a blockade? D-class. How do you navigate around an installed corrupt FBI and DOJ? Use a stealth bomber. So in October, he's talking about the stealth bomber. I think at this point in time, we were thinking it was Sessions. Maybe it was. Maybe he did a lot of things. And then you'll see here, if I come back to the next one, you can just click back one more right here again. And there's the next one that shows. So that was October 9th. Now you can see this is November 3rd, 2018. Now that's interesting. We're in 2018, so it's October 2018. So quite a while ago. So now we're in November, and here he uses it again. How do you navigate around an installed corrupt FBI DOJ? You use a stealth bomber. So you can see twice he's said that. Now we go to November 7th. This 4 days later. He says stealth bombers fly undetected. Whew. That's pretty cool if you think it. There's my stealth bomber behind me, right? The picture of the stealth bomber. And they fly undetected. And so that's what Sessions did, why he took one for the team to be behind the scenes, organizing massive investigations for all those sealed indictments we've been talking about for years now, for a couple of year and a half, right? And so that is exactly what is now going to come back out in the open, is all of Jeff Sessions' indictments. That's what's going to be happening. I think that's what they're talking about. Now, here we are. The next time they use it is November 9th. Again, here it says, what is the role of the chief of staff? Shadow players are the deadliest. And then stealth in brackets. Right, that may have been, and nope, that was a separate post on the same day, a couple days later. So this is how you study different terms in QAnon. Just go and do the search to bring all of them down, and then do the search again outside to actually highlight it. It makes a beautiful way for you guys to do your own research. Here we are in 2676. Stealth bombers silent. So it says optics are important. Stealth bombers silent? ? Regarding reread Mueller regarding designed to drops. Probe conclusion coming. So again, this is back in February of 2019. So what are these stealth bombers? I think we're going to really figure out that they were what, I think that a lot of this is what the silent executioner, what they used to call Sessions, actually did all that time. It also might, this is just a theory that you guys will probably not like, but I know I've gotten crap for this. Who knows what's going to happen on the 17th? Because that matches, the 17th matches like 30 years before the actual stealth bomber came out. Is to the day on the 17th when Mueller comes out. So could the stealth bomber be Mueller? Could Mueller was actually gathering all that information and supposed to hide it? Does he have it somewhere? Interesting. So could Mueller be part of this whole stealth bomber operation? And that's where we brought today. Stealth bomber, first day of first flight, and I'll show you a couple of Anon pulled together, some analysis of this that we'll show you in a second. But that was 3410. Now we go to this next long one as well, is 3411. Talking about you are witnessing the greatest coordinated misinformation attack campaign ever to be launched against the public, all in an effort to protect themselves from prosecution, public exposure, and regain power and control. Attempted removal of a duly elected president of the United States by illegal manufactured means. They believe they could win, con public support by controlled assets, media, tech, Hollywood. I'm going to pause there just for a second. When I talk about the 7 mountains of culture influence, here we have media, technology/business, Hollywood is arts and entertainment. There's 3 of the mountains right there. They took over those 3 mountains, guys, and we just can't let them do it again. They also took over academia. So if you add academia, Hollywood, the business tech, especially Silicon Valley, and the media, that is how the progressives got control of our culture. And that's what I'm talking in the second half of this video, how we are going to fight back and give you another free asset that's different than the one I've given you before to go really learn about the cultural impact system. Continuing the drop. These controlled assets set out to immediately create division through the use of a pre-designed misinformation campaign. Groups such as Antifa were funded and formed to prevent and or lessen the appeal for regular, hardworking Americans to gather and express non-narrative viewpoints. Control of the projected narrative depends primarily on their ability to con the masses into thinking they are the majority, the mindset of most. If the majority of the people believe this, then this must be more true than that. CIA Class 1 to 99, 56, human psyche and emotion all distress, LLED. So this is basically, I believe, showing that 1 through 99, the 56 of these 100, of these 99 things, the 56 was all about human psyops, psychological operations, right? To basically how do they get your emotions and get you in distress and make you believe what you believe. Without public support, they are powerless. We need people hold the power. We the people hold the power. United, we are strong. And this is that quote about usurping power that's been posted in here, I think 4 or 5 times, saying that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces and designs to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such a government and to provide new guards for their future security. You are witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. Q. That is some deep stuff there, guys. Showing truth all the way. That's what I love about QAnon. It is truth being given to we the people. We are the news now. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you guys for joining me in this journey and continuing to share these videos, making sure that we wake up people. You get informed yourself, think for yourself so that you can get in this fight. Here's a video of the B-2 stealth bomber. And I think since I'm a day late, most of you seen this. It's 1 minute and 24 seconds. It's a little bit on the loud side. So I am going to see if I can turn the... I'm going to just rip through this real quick. What a machine. What a machine. Matrix and Shady did something interesting. If you look at the serial number here, go to 1066. So let's go do that. Go to qmap.pub, which is the easiest one to search for me. And then you just search on 1066. That would bring you to post 1066, right? You got to type it in correctly, though. Can't reach up there because my microphone's in the way. 166. The perils of trying to do this when you are actually in a hotel. So let's go back to 1066. I don't know why it gave me so many pieces. Now, how come it's not going to 1066? So some reason that's not working very well. And I'll see, I'm 3412. So I'm going to go to qmap.pub and go to search. That's why I like to do this so you guys can learn with me. And so I got blown up so big, it's kind of hard to do this sometimes, but there it is. 1066, enter. See if this gives me a better search engine. It has a better search engine. There it is. And look at, we've been studying lately. The stealth bomber. We got Epstein and Ray Chandler. It says Ray Chandler is finished. There it is. Connection made. Ray Chandler end. We have grounds. Reverting. Thank you. Q. This is all the way back in April of 2018. And the very serial number on the stealth bomber, and the video puts in there, points us back to 1066, which is all about Ray Chandler. We have the grounds. Reverting. Thank you. Woo! Exciting stuff if you think about it. Now, when you use qmap.pub, you have to come back here and actually reset to actually clear it back up and get all your posts. And I was on 12. So that is the video of the stealth bomber. And then here is one of the proofs that we were just talking about. So you see the stealth bomber here, B2, the B2 stealth bomber, right? B2 stealth bomber is a defense management system, and the Lockheed won the award for actually refurbishment, making it nicer on July 10th, 2018, which is crazy, a full exact year delta from this post. And then you had Trump also on the same day saying, "Thank you, Lockheed Martin, one of the U.S. great companies." One of the USA's truly great companies. So this is not a coincidence again. You got links to exactly what I was talking about and interesting stuff. There's also, obviously, looking at the date of the first flights, even more interesting when you look at that, and the Mueller testimony being exactly 30 years apart. And people are looking at, man, we were thinking about 30 days or 30 hours, but 30 years? Crazy. So other booms coming all over the place. Now here we are on 3414. Only anons can fully appreciate the continued validations, confirmations through covert series of mathematically impossible coincidences. Means in order to maintain structural integrity, wills up. Q. Crazy. So this is just a huge compliment to anons, right? No question about the anons is the key here. Is that guys like me are just mouthpieces, right? People like Shady and Matrix and a lot of the true anons that haven't even been doxxed yet, right, are the ones doing all the hard work. I get my stuff from Vote and from Sarah A. Carter and watching some of Shady and Matrix. Also going back to Dan Bongino, right? But the real people doing the hard work are the diggers, the ones that are really bringing this up. So kudos to them. Just a hat tip to them. This was interesting. Wills up. I had no idea this was meant until I was in the airport watching some of the Matrix and the Shady show, and they did some research. And sure enough, this was a company. And I don't have time to go over it because I'm going to be focused on some other things here. But this is a company that's associated with some very shady people, no pun intended. And they talk about wills up, rings off. It means you take your wedding rings off and all that bad stuff happens on the planes. And it's all about human trafficking. And this company is being highlighted, I believe, by what the research that Matrix did on just that. And I think that's the last one. Let me refresh, and we'll get into some news, and some of the praying medics look at this, some of Matrix and Shady's look at this. But that gets us through the post. Let's look at... we saw those articles. Here we are. The Mueller investigation failed to provide evidence that the DNC was actually hacked. That's pretty funny. Yeah, here's a sponsor. Here is in fact, I'm going to skip this one because that is... I want to talk a little bit about a sensitive topic just for a second, guys. I was doing this greatawakening.com where you can get that Q phone. You can go get that. That's that Q coin. It is really cool. But I want to flip to something else that Noble Gold does that I think is a really good program, and it's an IRA, a gold IRA. If Trump's thinking about going to the gold standard, that's what's kind of exciting to me. But if I pull up one of these charts, I'm going to show you this here in a second, see if I can find it here. But it's if you just look at what's happened to the, and here it is. Look at this. Look at what's happened to since 1976, I think it is. Look at what happens to the stock market. Boom, boom. So it's going up. But when's that? Look at how much has gone up lately. Now, I believe in Trump and et cetera, but we also have to be cognizant. Is this the best place to put all your money? And that's why Noble Gold might be a really good thing to think about. And that's why, just really thinking through, is it top heavy? This whole, if you got all your money into a 401k that's got everything into stocks, you might want to think about a gold IRA, right? It's a program that Noble Gold's done that I think is pretty impressive. And so I would speak with them about finding a place of safety for your money too. I think you have the upside of the gold standard, and you also have the safety of if there is a reset of some kind that really hurts us for a while. So talk to them today for 5 minutes and see if you can bulletproof your hard-earned earnings before it's too late. Call 877-646-5347. You'll see the number at the bottom of this too. Again, 877-646-5347 and get protected with a gold or silver IRA today. Again, protect and get your free gold or silver guide as well. It'll answer a lot of your questions. All right, let's keep on rolling here. We've got Shady Groove here, and is one thing I wanted to show, but just right here. Here's Shady Groove. So he has this post 3412 that we just talked about, right? And Shady basically posts that, and he actually shows the video here that we showed you of the stealth bomber, and then you have him saying stealth bombers fly undetected, right? According to the red line months old 4 a.m. narrative should be updated. Pain coming. Q. And so this is post 3414, 2467, and 3410. I showed you a lot of these, right, based on going back and looking, but this shows the fact that the proof here. This talks about one of the old stealth things we just read about stealth bombers fly undetected, right? And this one is the one we saw today. And if you keep on rolling down through Shady's thread here, and you get all these, remember, in my show notes, go to blessedtoteach.com with a 2, blessedtoteach.com, number 2. And then here's the more stealth ones that we looked at. So he did a really good job pulling this all together in one area. And then he's showing some connections of some marriages within that links all this together. I don't have time to go into that. You can grab that. And then another article is about fired FBI officials authorize perjury investigations. And again, just a whole thing that looks back into Sessions. This is the one I really wanted to focus on because this is where he was right on the right track. Federal prosecutors evaluating alleged FBI, DOJ wrongdoing. No second special counsel for now. So this is way back in March of 2018, a full article talking about the silent executioner of Sessions and what he was doing back then. It's all about ready to start to come out where this man, not Meadows, but Mr. Jeff Sessions is going to end up being a hero. So go take a look at Shady's deal if you want to go look at more detail. He also gets into looking into Trump, where he did some things here, where he ordered the Justice Department to hire a conservative aide previously ousted from the White House. This another person that may be a stealth bomber is this Ezra Cohen Watnick. So pretty awesome stuff here that Shady dug up as he continues to do his great work. If I continue here and go to Praying Medic, Praying Medic has a thread here a little bit talking about the White House live session today that Trump was talking about social media. And we don't have time to actually look at much of this, but this is actually Trump present at the social media summit. So you can go look at that here again from the Praying Medic site. And after listening today, message by POTUS, read last night's post from Q. And so he's just emphasizing you are witnessing the greatest coordinated misinformation attack campaign ever to be launched against the public, all in an effort to protect themselves from prosecution, public exposure, and regain power and control. Attempted removal of the duly elected President of the United States by illegal manufactured means. They believe they could win public support by controlled assets, media, tech, Hollywood. These controlled assets set out to immediately create division through the use of pre-designed misinformation campaign. Groups such as Antifa were funded and formed to prevent or lessen the appeal for regular, hardworking Americans to gather and express non-narrative viewpoints. Control of this protected narrative depends primarily on their ability to con the masses into thinking they are the majority. The mindset of the most, if the majority of the people believe this, then this must be more true than that. CIA Class 1 through 99, number 56 is the human psyche and emotional distress. Without public support, they are powerless. We, the people, hold the power. We. United, we are strong. So there you go. He just thought that was just really well done. If you go listen to this, he's clearly talking and is aware of all this censorship that's going on, and he's all over it, and I love it. I love our POTUS for being so on top of this stuff. Here we have some more stuff. I already showed you some of this stuff. Here's an MSNBC article. Fired FBI official authorized perjury investigation against Sessions. This is what Shady pointed us to. And I'm going to get to some vote stuff here as well about what they thought was most important. Twitter pulls the plug 5 minutes ahead of the White House social media conference today. So those of you probably knew that Twitter went down. So whether they thought was going to happen because of this social media deal, who knows? That's interesting. And the Matrix actually pushed something about this as well. And he posted this live President Trump speech as well. And talks about investigating. We are currently investigating issues. People are having access with Twitter. We will keep you updated on what's happening. So he really didn't expand on that. So maybe in chat, if he's still there, he can expand a little bit more on what he's found, if anything. July 11th, only Anons can fully appreciate the continued validation. Remember, so this is just you can go into vote.co, voat.co, if you want to join me there. You'll see they'll post the post, and then there'll be people discussing it. And I thought this was just interesting. This is a person that says first comments was a shill. LOL. Lots of crazy shills on this sub the past few days. Wonder why. Anyways, did anyone feel the evil on the 4th? I could feel it. It was like Satan screaming because he knew what was about to happen. My faith in God is 110%. I have never had faith in God like I do now. And it's because the MSM and the cabal expose themselves, their evil and their true nature of this world. In 2016, I finally had the wool removed from my eyes. Everything I had seen on the surface up to my 33rd year on this planet in 2016 was not real. It was imaginary existence designed to blind me. But now my eyes are open and I am truly free. I love God, I love Trump, I love America, and I love you. We will prevail. Eat a wiener, cabal, bastards, and Satan. So he's pretty funny. So that you can see there's pretty awesome anons on vote.co. Court rules President Trump can defund Planned Parenthood. Will cut almost $60 million in taxpayer funding. So you'll see this in my show notes. Again, blessedtoteach.com. Best to get on my email list so you'll get them after each show. And this is pretty cool, guys. The federal appeals court today ruled President Trump can partially defund Planned Parenthood while an abortion business lawsuit against the administration new rules moves forward. So this is just beautiful things. So this Title X funds is the whole key to this thing. The fact is that does not, we shouldn't be giving government funding to an abortion organization that sells baby parts. Oh my goodness, it's going to be beautiful when this Planned Parenthood news. Hopefully that's not all Cube was talking about, but this is one awesome piece of Planned Parenthood news. Hopefully we get more coming out. Here's what Anon says. This is the start. They are going to scrub the internet. It will not work, right? So they're just trying to do everything they can to protect themselves now. Hey, with that, guys, that's the news I'm going to give you. I'm going to move over and go to a different view here for a second. And I'm going to bring you to another part of the cultural impact system that I'll give you a sneak peek at. All right, so let me flip to the view where I go to all display so you can just see this. And this is one of the things. So we already went through the 7 mountains and how vital it is to know how they're attacking us and be praying about how God may be wanting to use your talents, right? And basically be able to know where you're being called to. Another second part of this is we're going to get into team giftings. One part of that, the team giftings, is personality and social styles. It's the easiest one to understand, and I thought it would be a good one to go over for you guys just to understand a little bit more about the system. And basically, after confirming your calling and passion, you need a team, right? You need teams to be well balanced, to maximize cultural impact. You need different people with the same calling, passion, but a different team giftings. And team giftings are a combination of your spiritual gifts and your personality social styles. This teaching will focus on your personality styles. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you real quick about that. And then, by the way, you can go get this PDF plus more than I'll cover at a new website I put up, and that is called Impact Culture Now. So if Impact Culture Now, you'll see a free website. In fact, I'll just show that to you real quick. If you just go to any browser, see if I have one that's actually can be full. If I go to new here, new window, Chrome. I know I shouldn't be using Chrome, but sorry guys, I'm still using all their weapons against them. And you just go Impact Culture Now, culturenow.com. You will get this free gift that you can, and it'll be the PDF of what I'm showing you, and plus it'll have more things. It'll even talk to you about what Trump and Ben Carson and Greg Gutfeld, what their social styles are as well. So I'm not going to go over that. I don't have time today, but I wanted you to talk about what your social style could be. For instance, Myers-Briggs has 16 personality types, and it's difficult to remember yours, let alone others. I've done this a couple times. It's just too complex in my opinion. So in the cultural impact system, I'm really focusing on 4 types. And so you can remember yours and quickly classify other people. And so this will really help our teams in the cultural impact. So become impactor teams. We're going to really understand each other's social styles and build well-balanced teams that have multiple social styles as well as multiple spiritual gifts. But it's pretty easy if you just think about, some people think facts first and others emotion first. Some people really think and talk and move kind of slow, and others really think, talk, and move kind of fast, right? And so that's really what we have, these 4 types of personalities, and it's kind of fun to think through them. These have been named colors before, but I like to use the basically the name of the sea animal, right? A shark, a dolphin, a whale, or an urchin. And so if you think about this is what they are. So a shark is somebody who is basically facts first person, and they're thinking, talking, moving fast. While an urchin thinks slower, talking, moving, but they still want facts. A whale, hey, I'm an emotion first. They're slow and they're thinking of emotions first, not facts first. And same with the dolphin, right? Is they are emotions first, but they think faster than the whale. So these 4 types can be really effective if you think about how they would form in a team, how you should interact with them, and how they kind of make decisions and feel and think, and their social style or the personality type. And here's the way you can really think about it. A shark really wants to win, get results. A dolphin just wants to have fun. And then you think of these whales, they love to help people. And urchins crave information and facts. So can you pin yourself in here? It was real interesting. But one of the reasons why in the cultural impact system, we'll take a whole week on figuring out what you're in the second week of the program. You're going to be figuring out what your your spiritual gifts are, as well as your social type. And I thought I was an urchin, but I ended up being more of a shark. And so that's why we have the assessment to confirm it. But anyway, you can probably once you figure out what you are. I've also got a lot of urchin in me because I love facts a lot. And I like to analyze things, but I also am very competitive, right? And so it would be very, if I'm going to form a team like I have, a lot of people really give me great advice, and my technical team, etc. They're other types of personality types. That's what makes us a well-balanced team. And that's really important. Different spiritual gifts and different personality types. And so let's talk about sharks for a second. Now, why would you want a shark on your team? Well, they make decisions fast with facts and will get us results. They don't wait, they act now. So, hey, for a team, they get results. They understand competition. They help with vision and leadership. They give teams confidence that can sell, help overcome obstacles, right? So that's why you want a shark on your team. Now, urchins, they make decisions slowly and analyze the facts and plan before they take action. So they bounce off a shark really well. And so they're key to getting the team to think before acting. They can keep the team from accepting false facts. They help create, now this is a lot of the anons are this. Help create team loyalty, respect, and unity. Attention to details that others may miss. So you want an urchin on your team as well. But boy, we'd all be bored if we didn't have some dolphins around. enjoyable to be around, very cheerful, convincing, and great promoters. And again, the advantage to team effectiveness. I just want to check one thing real quick to make sure I'm showing it. Yeah, good. I'm showing this to you. Help the team bond and have fun together, brings energy to the team, encourages the teamwork. I hope you're getting the hint here, is that we have to have well-balanced teams. We need to have all personality types, different spiritual gifts, etc. And this is one of the keys to the success of the cultural impact system, is understanding what mountain you're in, how we're being attacked, where's God calling you to, and then moving into making sure you understand your spiritual gifts and your personality type so we can create awesome teams. Whales love people. They make decisions as a team. Great listeners and mediators. So again, if you want these guys, because they help assure the team focus on helping others. They help the team bond by mediating and having compassion. They reduce stress and bring peace to the team by keeping calm. Do you think some teams need that? I bet, yes, they do. They sure do. So bottom line, figure out what you are. You can probably have a good guess at it, but we're going to really confirm it and analyze it in the program in week 2 that will be in early August. We start July 29th. Anyway, that is the teaching I wanted to quickly go over with you. And then I just want to let you guys know, I believe in the power of one person acting as part of a team can have massive cultural impact. I believe we can take back our culture by establishing cultural impactors in all 7 mountains, and we can fight the cabal, deception, and teach truth in all 7 mountains. We can take ground and hold ground by establishing leaders and teams, that are these well-balanced teams I was just talking about, and revenue funding in all 7 mountains. And we can unify as Christian patriots and help destroy the divisive tactics of Soros and unite we the people here and around the world. And I believe I've been called to help you and other patriots, even if it's very part-time or behind the scenes, to become an impactor and enjoy seeing your effort make true cultural impact. So the last thing I want to show you is just go to Impact Culture Now, impactculturenow.com, and download this free gift. You'll also see, what is Donald Trump? What do you think his social style is? I'll show you what I believe he is. Also, Ben Carson, who's he? Where would he fit? Type down below what you think Ben Carson and which of these they'd be. What about Greg Gutfeld? What about the My Pillow guy? So download that gift and you'll see the answer. Which one of these are they? Where's Trump, Gutfeld, My Pillow, and Ben Carson fit? Be a good exercise for you to guess. Go download the PDF to find out at Impact Culture Now. All right, guys. With that, I'm going to just go to a Bible verse because I've gone over time, and I'm going to bring up the other view. Bear with me. There it is. Bring up my normal view here. So, guys, let's just talk about 1 Corinthians 1, 22 and 23. It's just another one of my favorite memory verses because I just love about preaching Christ crucified. And this is one verse that just tells it so well. Because there's people that are, it's like Jews are kind of like the urchins, if you think about it, right? They're demanding signs and evidence, right? And you got Greeks who just look for wisdom. They're just thinking things, and that's probably as they're looking for wisdom is probably a lot like the whale in many ways. But so Jews demand signs, and Greeks look for wisdom. But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But we preach Christ crucified. That's what we do as believers, guys. If you just tell your testimony, you're believing that your sins are covered because of the blood of Christ. That is preaching Christ crucified. That's why I wear the cross, right? That is why we believe so, and just are so thankful to the Lord, right? So let me pray. I just love that verse. Let me read it one more time. 1 Corinthians 1, 22 and 23. Jews demand signs, and Greeks look for wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to the Jews and foolishness to the Gentiles. But you know what? It's the truth. So just relate that to the Q right now. You are reading truth right now and learning truth, and people may think that you are foolish. People may think, and people may stumble over this because they don't want to know the truth. but we preach the truth. We preach Christ crucified when it comes to the Bible. And when it comes to where we go and we go all, we just tell people the truth. Let me pray. Heavenly Father, just thank you. Please wake up more people, Lord. Please use us to wake up more people. Lord, please bring more people to the truth of Christ and to the truth of what is going on in the real world here, Lord. Thank you for exposing this evil and letting us join you. Please let everybody that's listening to my voice be inspired, Lord, by your presence. Be inspired by your Holy Spirit. Allow them to know where you want them to be part of this movement. Are they going to be part of the army of God, Lord? Let them know. If so, let them know what mountain of cultural influence that you're calling them to. Let them understand what their personality style is, what their spiritual gifts are, and unite them with a team where they can really make huge impact in a mighty way for your kingdom. Thank you, Lord, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, guys, thank you so much. I've gone over. My wife is waiting for me down there, so I'm going to flip over here. I just want to end up with where I was talking. This is the stealth bomber. What is that? Could that be Robert Mueller? Or are they just talking about all the stuff that Jeff Sessions did so well behind the scenes? Or is it something else? What is this stealth bomber? We know it's something big. Q's talked about it for a couple of years now. Exciting times. God bless you guys. This is Rick, your host on the Blessed Seat Show on Thursday, July 11th. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you next time.